Hello and welcome students. Today we will study the second lecture of this chapter machine. So far we have already studied the first lecture in which we have studied the work input. Okay. So somewhere when I am revising my video on YouTube, I realized somewhere I have written the input energy. I have directly written the input energy. Okay. So energy is also equal to work. Energy is also equal to work, but it become very difficult. You people please make clear. It is denoted as work input because it is mentioned in your book work input. So what do you mean by work input? Work done on machine by effort. Okay, I have drawn an example. Suppose this is a machine. Okay, and this is the effort. Okay, this is the load. So suppose this is the load where task is to be performed and from where the task is performed. So this is the work input. This arrow represents the work input and this represents the work output. Okay, so work done by machine on load is known as work output. What do you mean by efficiency? Efficiency is simply a ratio of work output upon work input. Efficiency has no unit. It is a comparative quantity. It is a comparative quantity. Okay. Then we have the principle of machine. But before proceeding toward the principle of machine, we understand the concept. I have merged the whole concept of input energy, output energy in one part only. But here you can bifurcate easily how it is differ. Basically, it doesn't differ, but in the way of teaching, you can understand easily in this manner. Point where energy is supplied to the machine, where we have done the work input. Now, that work input can also be regarded as input energy. How? Because the work performed at input is also converted in the form of input energy, while where the energy obtained to perform the task at load point is known as output energy. This is known as output energy. In the previous video I have written directly this is known as input energy, this is output energy. So maybe some people get confused. Don't worry, we will write it as individually work input, work output, input energy, output energy. Don't worry for that. Okay, it is fine. Don't worry. Nobody can cut your marks if you are written already. Okay, then we having the principle. Principle, work done at effort point and that output energy is equal to work obtained at load point. And for ideal machine, sometime what happens, if we perform our task in a machine, some part of wear and tear is there. Wear and tear. Some how much input is applied is not converted in the form of output. Suppose you have applied input 100 and output is obtained 90. So what happened? What is about that 10? Where that 10% is lost. How this loss happened? Because machine is not efficient, not 100% ideally efficient. Some part of work is lost in the form of wear and tear, like friction, like heat. So not even a single machine is 100% ideal, but we are assuming here the case for the ideal machine, and for the case of ideal machine, the output energy must be equal to the input energy. But it is a hypothetical concept that the output energy equals to the input energy. It is very difficult. Then we having most important topic, that what is the relationship between the mechanical advantage, velocity ratio and efficiency. We have already covered, but again I am revising. We have discussed what do you mean by input energy, work done at effort. So we know very well, suppose this is the machine, this is the load, this is the effort. So work done at effort will be effort into displacement of the effort into displacement, and output energy is equal to the load into displacement of the load. We know very well, and input energy equal to the output energy for ideal 100% ideal machine. And we also know what do you mean by efficiency, work output upon work input. We can also write it here, work output energy upon input energy, but more conveniently we can write work output upon work. If suppose you have written output energy upon input energy, don't worry, it is 100% correct. Okay, so work output you can have it clear, work done equal to force into displacement, force equal to load into displacement of the load, effort into displacement of the effort. Okay, so this can be written as load upon effort, displacement of effort upon displacement of load. So this can be written as mechanical advantage and this can be written as velocity ratio. So what happens? Mechanical advantage equal to efficiency into velocity ratio. This is the relation we have already studied. So here I have just revised whatever the thing which we have already studied, so that if you are getting confused, you can have a clear idea. One more thing I just wanted to share to all of you. If you people are facing any kind of difficulty, just because sometimes what happens in online classes, we don't have any proper interaction with the children. Sometimes the language problem can arise. Sometimes it happens that I am teaching fast, or anything is arises in the, especially the case of physics. You people can directly contact me on my WhatsApp number. Okay, or you can contact to your class teacher, who can inform me whether this kind of problem arises. Even in the vacation period also, when these online classes are not going on, then if you are having any problem related to the numerical, you can directly ask. All these are help is provided on the behalf of our school. Okay, if you are having any problem, you can ask directly. Okay, we people are trying really very hard so that you people have a clear have a clear perfection regarding your chapters, and so that you can get a perfect knowledge, and your studies during this lockdown period will not get affected. Okay, so if you have any problem, you can ask directly for this physics related doubt, and the numerical you can ask any numerical. Okay, now we will move to our next topic, that is what do you mean by lever and how it works and how different kinds. Now we will study some topic related to the lever. What do you mean by lever? Lever is a straight rigid bar which is capable of turning. Suppose we are having this straight bar which is capable of rotating. Okay, that is the example of lever. We can take, suppose we are having a straight rod, that is AB, which we have already studied in chapter 1. Okay, and we'll be having a straight rod, and suppose we are having the fixed point where the whole mass of the body is due to be concentrated. Suppose it is a fulcrum. Suppose it is a fixed point where whole mass of the body is due to be concentrated. And suppose here a load is applied, and here suppose effort is applied. So this lever work on the principle of movement. This lever work on the principle of movement. What do you mean by principle of movement? We have already studied in chapter 1, that is clockwise movement of the load about fulcrum. Suppose this is a load, and clockwise movement of this load about fulcrum equal to the anti-clockwise movement of the effort about fulcrum. Anti-clockwise movement of the effort about fulcrum. So this work on the principle of movement. But the clockwise movement equal to the anti-clockwise movement. It work on the principle of movement. What do you mean by lever? Rigid straight bar which is capable of turning about fixed axis. Simply they are just trying to say that lever work on the principle of movement. Okay, so this load into load arm, this FD is the load arm, and effort into effort arm. Okay, FA equal to the effort arm. So load upon effort can be written as FA upon FB, which can be written as load upon effort is equal to effort arm upon load arm. Okay, so this load upon effort can be written as mechanical advantage, and one more formula for the mechanical advantage is effort arm upon load arm. This can be the example of this can be the another formula for the mechanical advantage. And here mechanical advantage, and how this mechanical advantage vary. So we can have mechanical advantage equal to 1, mechanical advantage greater than 1, mechanical advantage less than 1. If load arm equal to effort arm, then mechanical advantage can be equal to 1. Okay, load arm equal to effort arm. If load arm is greater than effort arm, if load arm greater than effort arm, then mechanical advantage greater than 1. And load arm is suppose less than effort arm, then mechanical advantage will be less than 1. We have already studied about the effort. Now we will study different kinds of levers. We need to study the different kinds of levers. So basically we are having the 3 kinds of lever. Class 1 lever. Okay, this is not a concept. This is a way how you need to study. Okay, you supposed to learn the convention which the scientists have already derived. They have described the lever into put the lever into three parts: class 1, class 2 and class 3. Okay. So what happened in class 1 lever? What happened is fulcrum is between load and effort. Class 2 lever, what happened? The load is between fulcrum and effort. In class 3 lever, effort is between load and fulcrum. Okay, so we can learn it by taking flea. fulcrum यहाँ बीच में, यहाँ लोड बीच में, यहाँ एफर्ट बीच में, तो हम लोगों ने एग्जाम्पल लिख लिया फ्ली. ठीक है, एक तरीका है रखने का कि फ्ली. तो यहाँ पे क्लास 1 लीवर में क्या हो गया, फलक्रम बीच में है, लोड और एफर्ट के बीच में, इधर पे लोड बीच में है क्लास 2 में, और इसमें क्या एफर्ट बीच में हमारा फलक्रम और लोड के बीच में. ओके, तो यहाँ पर एग्जाम्पल हम चाहें तो इसको बना करते हैं, आप ड्रॉ करते हैं. इसके एग्जाम्पल क्या हो गया, सीसॉ, सीजर, क्रोबार. इसमें क्या है, सीसॉ में आपने देखा है कि यहाँ पर एक बच्चा बैठा है, एक बच्चा यहाँ बैठा है, तो यहाँ पे क्या फलक्रम बीच में, यहाँ लोड है, यहाँ एफर्ट. ठीक. सीजर में भी हमको पता है कि सीजर में ये मान लो ये वो है, ये है सीजर का, और ये है, तो यहाँ पर क्या हमारा फलक्रम है, और यहाँ पर हमारा क्या लोड है, यहाँ पे काट रहा है, और यहाँ पर हमारा क्या एफर्ट है. ठीक, सीजर हो गया. दूसरा क्या, नट और बोतल ओपनर और व्हील बैरो. ये हो गया हमारा उसका व्हील बैरो, जो कचरा गाड़ी नहीं होती है जिसको यहाँ से एक इंसान ने उठाया हुआ है कचरे को. ओके, तो यहाँ पर हमारा क्या है, लोड, और यहाँ पर हमारा कचरा कहाँ पे उठा, एफर्ट, सॉरी ये हमारा क्या है, सॉरी ये हमारा क्या है, फलक्रम. टर्निंग पॉइंट क्या कहलाता है, फलक्रम, जहां से टर्न हो रहा है. और ये क्या हो गया हमारा, सॉरी ये क्या है हमारा लोड, जहाँ पे हमारा पूरा कचरा किधर पे उठा है, बीच में, और यहाँ से क्या लगा है, एफर्ट. तो ये व्हील बैरो. बॉटल ओपनर हो गया हमारा, बॉटल ओपनर भी सेकंड क्लास लीवर. नट क्रैकर, ये हमारा बीच में सामान रखा है, और ये हमारा नट क्रैकर हो गया. ओके, ये हमारा नट क्रैकर हो गया. यहाँ पे हम लोग क्या है, एफर्ट लगा रहे हैं, तो हमारा यहाँ पे क्या लोड है, सॉरी, और यहाँ पर हमारा क्या है, फलक्रम, और यहाँ पर क्या है हमारा एफर्ट. आप खुद देखिए नट क्रैकर में यहाँ पे कुछ दबा रहे हैं हम लोग क्लास में, तो ये नट क्रैकर में ये क्या है लोड, ये क्या है हमारा फलक्रम, ये क्या है एफर्ट. ऐसे क्लास 3 लीवर, क्लास 3 लीवर का एग्जाम्पल हो गया जो बोट में चलाते वक्त जो वो इस्तेमाल करता है, जो बोट चलाने वाला, उसके हैंडल आर्म जो छोटे होते हैं, वो क्लास 3 का बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल है. अभी कैसे वर्क करते हैं, कैसे क्या करता है, न्यूमेरिकल हम लोग अगले लेक्चर में पढ़ेंगे. यहाँ तक आप लोगों का पढ़ा दिया गया है. Okay, if you face any kind of problem related to the physics till where I have completed the syllabus, you can directly ask the numerical. I will feel really very happy if you people are asking your doubts, because if you people are not getting satisfied with the online classes, so then it will be of no use. So you can ask your doubt even in this vacation period also. I am always available to help you all. Okay. So whenever you face any problem related to the numerical, you can directly WhatsApp, or you can ask your class teacher, then they can forward the message, or you can directly ask me for your query. Okay. So in next lecture we will complete this part also, numerical, and that's all for today. Okay.